Happy Wednesday. Erin Coscarelli here. I have a really awesome guest. Her name is Tricia Wallwork. She's the CEO of Milo's Tea Company. I'm going to see how I can try to request her. Oh wait, maybe drink Milo's. Let's see. Oh, we might have gotten a request. Yes! Okay, great. I'm so excited because, technology's challenging sometimes. Let's see if we were. Oh, we got her on. Yeah! Hi. Oh no, is your internet not playing well with us? Let's see. Hi everybody.
We're good now.
To Women Crush Wednesday. Can you hear me okay? Hi Trisha, how you doing?
Yes.
We're doing okay. I mean, technology, it's amazing. I know you are so busy. So thank you so much for taking some time to jump on today. Your story is really quite remarkable. You're exactly the kind of person that I would want to have to inspire other women. And you are CEO, chairman of Milo's Tea Company. So you run a really huge beverage company. In fact, the distributors is Walmart. We're having some technical issues here as we try to get Trisha on to see if we can do this. I also dyed my hair really dark, and I'm seeing myself for the first time, and I'm like, wow, it is really dark. But I kind of like.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's Wi-Fi.
It was Wi-Fi, and it was the one thing that I did not solve that was on my list before the call. So I apologize. I'm so excited to be here with you today.
And like I was saying earlier, and I was kind of telling the guests who's chimed in, a lot of people, by the way, saying how big of a fan they are of your beverage company. So that's so cool. Why don't you kind of give us a little backstory, because you took over the company, and what I love the most is it's a female-owned, certified female-owned company, and it's been a female-owned company for a while. Can you give us a little backstory about how you got involved? And because, of course, obviously you're the CEO, you have a lot of decision making to do. Take us back to like how you got involved. And
would love to share the Milo story. So we're celebrating our 75th anniversary this year. The company was founded by my grandparents, Bea and Milo Carlton, and I never in my wildest dreams thought I would join the company. I went to law school because I wanted to make a difference and I wanted to help people, and I quickly realized that that was not my calling. I'm so entrepreneurial, and I wanted to I say when I joined the family business, it was like getting off the interstate and going onto the back country road, because the company was small, it was local, but it had such opportunity, and really it has been the pride to have the opportunity to take this company from this local to the number one refrigerated tea brand in the United States. So it has been an amazing journey and a very wild ride.
Yeah, but I love that. I love that you said journey, because I imagine it must have felt like a lot of pressure, because this is your family's company and you want to do right by them. And when you guys are in Walmart, that's a pretty big deal. When you found out about the news, how did you respond to that? Was that something that was like high on the priority list to be able to get your product out to as many people as possible? Because it's so funny, before you were jumping on, we were dealing with Wi-Fi issues. I love Milo's. I love Milo's. I mean, like, everybody was like, love, love, love. So you have a huge fan following. Yeah. Yeah.
Our fans are so passionate, and that really means something to us. We call it Milo's Moments, and that's why we exist. And we don't take it lightly that our fans have our beverages in their homes. They take them to things that matter to them, like maybe your Christmas dinner or your Thanksgiving. And it's such an honor to be invited to their tables every day. And so, that's why we do what we do. We also really are focused on Milo's Moments for our associates and for communities and our customers. So, the opportunity to grow with retailers like Walmart is amazing. We want to partner with our customer to reach our fans, and we want to be everywhere people have use occasions for Milos, and that's pretty much all day long.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool because I was curious about what sets your company apart from others, but it sounds like you're really vested in learning about the customer's experience and wanting to have that relationship partnership with them.
Absolutely. I mean, why we exist is Milo's Moments, but our culture of our company is people first, and that's all people. That is our associates, and treating them. I've had the honor. I'm actually out at our plant in Tulsa today, and of announcing a pay increase of $2 for our hourly associates yesterday. Wow. Which is very exciting, and it was very unexpected. It was just, I think there were a lot of wet eyes in the plant. So just really our customer, our associate, as well as our fans.
I love that you said that, because I think customers today care more about team morale, right? Like what's going on behind closed doors. I think the consumer cares about the company and what's the vested interest within the company, because we vote with our dollar. So when we hear that the owner of the company wants to give a pay increase to its employees, that makes me feel like I'm investing in a company that's rooted within the same values that matter to me.
Absolutely. And we're investing a lot of our giving back dollars to advance gender equality, women, families. We know that when we support women, we support the entire network, and that is what we need to do. I mean, whether it's in business or in the community. So it's really exciting. And, to have the opportunity. When I first started leading the company, we had 50 employees, and now we have over 550. And by the end of next year, we think we'll add another 100 associates. So it's awesome. Really exciting to me. I mean, how I will measure my life when I look back is to say how many lives, that we were able to make better because they touched, me. Obviously, most close is my nuclear family and my family, but it's the whole Milo's family too. So it is, it's truly an honor.
Yeah. I look back and I go, I love my job. I love interviewing women, but what I love the most about it is what the purpose is rooted in. And for me, it's like giving back. It's mentoring younger women. It's trying to think of everybody, inclusivity, equality, like you mentioned. And then also, which is what I really am excited to talk about you with, how do you take care of you when you are such a, and the other question I want to ask is, what does a typical day look like for you? Because I mean, you're so busy. You are such a busy with dealing with so many, I'm sure, fires. And then I think you also have kids. So how do you do it? How do you navigate that? Like, how do you take care of you and prioritize you at the same time?
So it's very apropos now with COVID. You have to put your mask on first, and before you can take care of others. And so, is making sure that I do take that time for myself, that I need to get my workout in, to do my meditation, to think, really that focused time. And I believe, having had the opportunity to work at home for a long time now, since the beginning of COVID, you see how much this focused time means. But we've also had to learn new skills about balance. If you walk from your office to the kitchen and there your children are, it's hard. And so just discipline around that so that, you don't lose yourself in all of it. You can turn it off, and you can be present in the moment, every moment. And so, like, I have two teenagers. I have a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I have crossed the Rubicon into parenting high schoolers, and it was a lot more challenging than being a CEO. I've decided when I retire, I'm going to write a book called "What I Learned About Being a CEO by Parenting Teenagers."
Yeah.
It's
you learn more about being a CEO by navigating your own, crazy household, if you will.
Exactly.
I imagine that's an interesting way of looking at it, because you got to put your mask on first. Or like I always say, when you're on a plane, like you've got to put on your oxygen mask, and then they tell you to put the oxygen mask on the children. Because if you're not able to take care of you, you're not able to take care of, your huge company. So then what does a typical day in the life of Tricia Wallwork actually look like? Like, are you getting up at the crack of dawn? Are you not, like, how are you navigating your life? May I ask, just so I have some insight on my life?
Well, I know from other women in my position that you've talked to, we all get up at the crack of dawn because that's the only time you're going to get the workout in. And it is the only time you're alone. And so I'm up at 5 a.m. Every day, sometimes a little bit earlier if something's on my mind. I do my hour of cardio and then, try to be around for the kids in the morning while they're getting ready. It's really just such amazing time to be with them. And then you get started. At Milo's, you asked earlier about how do you do it. And, it's trust. And it's really having a great team that you can rely on, that are there for you. And so it's really, it really is about your team. I mean, your home team and your work team. Mm-hmm. And so we huddle every day. We're highly cohesive, building that trust with your family, obviously, and then with your team through being vulnerable and being yourself and coming to work as yourself and being okay with that. So it makes work fun that you have that type of culture and you have those type of friendships. So, you mentioned earlier putting out fires and in a growth company. So this year we're growing almost 50%. And, I know it's so exciting. And, we compete every day with International Big Food, but our team is able to actually get products on shelf, unlike some of our competitors. And it's because of our amazing team at Milo's. I mean, no isn't an answer. We're going to find a way to get there for our customer and our consumer. And it really, it's just so fun to watch. So that's what I do all day.
I love that. I really love that. And I love too that, you mentioned the word, my favorite word, vulnerable. Because if you see the CEO be vulnerable, it really sends a message that this is a safe place. Remove the ego. I've worked in broadcast environments where there's been big egos present. And then I've worked in environments where it's like a collective team where we're all on the same level. And it really is quite, like you said, it is such a great cohesive working environment, your home life, your work life, when it feels very synergistic that everybody's there to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty,
Well, and it's the whole self, because you don't change when you walk through the doors at work, right? I mean, you're still you. And if you have to, and I've worked in those environments too, where it's political or hierarchical and to me, that's just not fun. I'd rather teach yoga, or stay home with my kids. I want to be on a team where we can all come and be ourselves and win.
Yeah. You're so unique to me. Like, where did you feel like you got this mantra from? Because you're from Alabama, correct?
Yes.
Are you from Birmingham, Alabama?
Yes.
Area? Okay. So, how did you become this type of person? Like, you're very open, and like I said, you've described your employees and the well-being of your work family is very much a priority for you. Do you know where you got that from? Was that something you learned over time, or is this just kind of who Tricia is?
It's a journey, like I said earlier, and it's a journey of leadership. Tricia 1.0 is not the same as Tricia 2.0. And I say a lot of times, all leaders are readers, and I read so much. And so constantly trying to kick up the volume on my self-awareness of myself as a leader, what I can do better, constantly asking for feedback. And sometimes it's hard. We're not born knowing how to give and receive feedback because we automatically go to our fight or flight, And so it's a skill that it's like muscle, you can work it out, but you've got to make it part of what you do. And so I read probably, one or two, at least leadership or business books a month, and just continue to turn the dial. And I think teams that read together win together.
So we've got like a Milo's Tea book club going on, maybe?
We do, yes.
So yes. What is a book should be on every woman's bookshelf?
Well, I'm currently reading The Art of Gathering, and it is so fascinating. I heard this woman speak on Brene Brown's podcast, and it is about why we gather as humans. So it could be a meeting, it could be a dinner party, it could be, a PTA group. And it just, as we come back together post-COVID, the idea that we should rethink why we gather and the purpose of getting together so we can have amazing times together is just, it's really fascinating to me right now. Another book that I've recently read is The Obstacle is the Way. And, we're dealing with some things, we can't control everything in life. And as humans, we have to figure out that we can't and just not let it bother us. When the thought comes in your head, it has to go off like butterfly wings. And so, but that is a skill we've all got to learn, because it's easy to let things get in your crawl. But if you can't change them, you're just wasting your time to think about them.
Absolutely. And question the narrative, right? There's Erin 1.0. That's an old narrative that no longer serves me. And I've already clearly run out of time with you. I know you're so busy. I want to be respectful of your time, but I have one question that I'm so curious to understand how you deal with it. So I'll give you a great example of a lot of the things sometimes that happens to me as a female business owner, a female real estate owner, a female entrepreneur, if you will. Sometimes, and a girlfriend just recently told me this, that happened to her. So she went to a high-end car dealership, and she drove away with a very nice car. And she's her own business owner, but she went with her husband, and they did a test drive. And her husband said to her, I'm tired. I'm gonna go home. You'll take the car home. Okay, great. And an employee said to my girlfriend, "Oh, don't let your husband leave. We got to do the finances." And she said, "Oh, that's so cute. I'm going to pay for it. Thank you very much." So, and I get that, like when I have contractors come over, they're like looking over me, like waiting for the guy to arrive. And I don't really let it bother me anymore. But I think it's a great thing to talk about for women who deal with that to some degree, especially as a female leader who may have those moments where they don't take women as serious. It's an old narrative, but sometimes people believe old narratives. How have you understood that, and how do you handle it, or how do you deal with it?
Well, unfortunately, bias is real, and it manifests itself in the workplace, and it is something I believe as humans we are at a awesome moment to actually dismantle some of it. And it needs to all be dismantled. But through my career, I've had some very challenging situations, as you note, and honestly, the way I handle it is I feel sorry for that individual, that they underestimate. And you kind of look back and you go, okay, I can think of some things that were said to me earlier in my career, and just shocking things. And so, you have to ignore it. You have to let it, fly away, like those negative thoughts or the things you can't control, because the problem's them. And think about how sad it is that they've underestimated, somebody else based on some sort of physical characteristic that has no bearing on their value or, what they're going to bring to the table. That's just so sad.
I love that because it's totally deflecting any responsibility with their sad, unfortunate bias, right? Like, let's feel bad or find it amusing, rather than own it and take it as some kind of tangible reflection of us, right? So.
Well, and I think as women, unfortunately, as we look at our programming to advance women in leadership, I feel like a lot of women underestimate themselves, and we've done it to ourselves by this perception of perfection, by, all of the things that we tell ourselves. And so, if for any of the women that are listening today, I mean, put your name in the hat. We know that as women, if we see a job opportunity, we're going to say, oh, we don't have that one thing. But guess what? The guy that may not have the one thing, going to put his name in the hat. So go for it.
I love you. You're the biggest woman crush on you. Trisha, thank you so much for taking the time today to help continue to lead the way for so many of us women who need to continue to believe that we are enough. So I appreciate you.
And thank you for the Gem Plus coffee. So awesome. I mean, the clothes are great. They just need to have a Gem Plus tea line instead of just Gem Plus coffee. So tell them to call me.
Yes, we're making deals. Trisha, I am so appreciative of you, girlfriend. Thank you for taking the time today.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Success. Milo's Tea. Try them out. Check them out at Walmart. They're amazing. All right, you ladies. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Trisha.
Bye.